driving on the highway over around Jacksonville, Florida. I wish that there was positives to be said about Jeff Hardy getting out of this, bro, but this is already his third DUI. Now he's had to spend around at least 38 days over in county jail. 2 years of probation, about $4,500 in fines, while having a 10-year license suspension. That's the only positive, so he doesn't get to do this bullshit anymore. Jeff Hardy is an enemy to himself. Jeff Hardy doesn't want Jeff Hardy to succeed, especially when he's in a new promotion. Knowing that he's a major draw, there's always a fixatious fan base around whenever Jeff Hardy's around. And as soon as there's any positive press that Jeff Hardy can actually put AEW on some positive stride, he gets caught over this BS. And most people, even around, including me, was trying to accompany the blame, trying to feel like Jeff Hardy could have had this prevented and Matt Hardy did. Like, what do you expect him to do? He's a grown-ass man. Most of the time, you can't even control your little brother around adulthood anymore. So I'm just conflicted, because obviously I'm a fan of Jeff Hardy, and a lot of wrestling fans got brought up, especially around my generation, from Jeff Hardy. If you watched him off WWE or you watched him from TNA, and he still had substantial issues, risk to his own self, always had behavioral problems backstage. It just was a whole danger to himself and anybody around him, and accounted by him getting this majority slap on the wrist, and him possibly still able to be worked, and just manually left on the clock with like only minuscule stuff like a payable fine, possibly somebody driving him. That's the only possibility. Still being able to wrestle. And this comes over his third charge of DUI? And just having just a minuscule amount of, like, punishment put upon him. And he already doesn't make himself accountable. That's the worst part of all this, guys. This was reported back in Thursday. And you'd think, oh, Jeff Hardy is what, in his third? No, Jeff Hardy's in his 40s. Jeff Hardy's old enough to have his own kids nearly be teenagers at this point, and he's like still doing this BS, and this gotta be just tolerable because it's Jeff Hardy. We gotta expect the worst as it is, that Jeff Hardy is just a ticking time bomb of just risky behavior, and nobody can set him straight. And even when he does have himself set straight, we don't know when this BS is going to happen or how to prevent it. I hope he does well for himself, coming from a fan and people and somebody that witnessed people go through the wrong path when it comes to substance abuse. When you're behind the wheel, that type of shit, it will hurt a lot of people. So I wish upon the best for Jeff Hardy. He just gotta stop being a fucking dumbass. And this is like honest. As honest as you're gonna get. You gotta stop being a dumbass. Hold yourself accountable. And know that you need fucking help. And me pointing the blame to Matt Hardy is even more wrong. Because that's just me pointing the finger, when it's obvious that the person that had a choice not to go fucking drunk and hit the road is Jeff Hardy. So a decade's worth over his suspension of his license, paying over this fine, and obviously getting a mandatory impoundment of his vehicle. Now he also got to take rehab probations and custom and community service. He better fucking do it. And Tony Khan better make it manual to give him drug tests if he's even going to still respect his contract, so they can get every fucking money's worth of what Jeff Hardy's done. Because he needs to like learn from his consequences, and this is nearly 30 years of him doing this in the business. Because he thinks he can just get away with it because he's Jeff Hardy. And the fans that even enable this type of shit are even worse for this. Because this could possibly happen to them. And guess what? You're not Jeff Hardy. I I just get tight whenever I hear, and I have siblings as well. We all grew up watching Jeff Hardy. We all witnessed him win the WWE title, so we always been behind him. But we also hear about his substance being caught over with drugs in the middle of him driving over the highway, drunk on the live pay-per-view, doing all this dumb shit, and yet people are going to be still asking if he's going to work. No, it's like, when is he going to grow up? Please, someone explain this to me. Hopefully he gets the help he needs. That's it from the DST show. I hope this is the last time, the last goddamn time I cover Jeff Hardy in any of this. Thanks for watching the DST show.